Starting the panel a little bit earlier than we had scheduled. And this is our mobility panel. And what we're going to be discussing today is basically the problem of urban transportation and some of the tactics involved in dealing with those problems. We're going to be looking at the social phenomenon of customized vehicles, personal vehicles, bikes and cars. And we're going to be looking at that as a site of cultural expression, community empowerment, and a site of ethical transformation. So I wanted to introduce our first panelist. Her name is Kristy Alfieri. She's an educator who began her studies at UC Berkeley. She received a BA in English with an emphasis on multicultural literature in 1997. After graduating, she worked in the Oakland Unified School District for 5 years as a teacher and served on a literacy team designed to help at-risk students reading below grade level. As the youth and community director of The Crucible, which is an organization in Oakland, Kristy has developed and planned and coordinated youth programs for over 7,000 youth in fine and industrial arts education. Under her direction, over 2,500 youth were served in local community initiatives, such as bike fix-a-thons and an Earn a Bike program. So she's here today, and I'll invite her to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me without the microphone? No? Okay. All right. How's that? Okay. Thank you for having me. My name is Kristy Alfieri, and I'm the Youth and Community Director at The Crucible. The Crucible is a fine and industrial arts education facility, and we teach all sorts of classes for adults and youth, and I have the privilege and pleasure of running the youth program. We actually have an open house tomorrow, and so if you're not familiar with The Crucible, maybe after the conference you can come see us. I am here to talk about our bike program, and in particular a class called Frame Alteration, our HiFi bike. And when we first moved to West Oakland about 7 years ago, we were trying to connect with our West Oakland community members, and talking about blacksmithing was a bit esoteric for 8-year-olds. And so we found a way in which we could connect with them is through bicycles. And so what we started to do was bike fix-a-thons. And what those were monthly, excuse me, monthly fix-a-thons where we'd fix community members' bikes. And from that, we evolved into a program called Earn a Bike, where young people would come in, pick a bike out, fix that bike up, learn bike mechanics, and earn that bicycle. And then they would come to bike fix-a-thons and help to help their community members' bikes. And from there, we actually evolved our program to create this program called Frame Alteration, or HiFi bike. And so I have a little video that I brought for your enjoyment, and then I'll talk a little bit about how it's impacted our community.
I'm moving on my scraper bike. I'm cruising on my scraper bike. My scraper bike go hard. I don't need no cord. Smashing on my scraper bike. Scraping on my scraper bike. Scraping on my scraper bike. On my scraper bike. On my scraper bike. On my scraper bike. On my scraper bike.
The Crucible is a fine and industrial arts education facility, and it was founded in 1999. We were in Berkeley for 3 years and came to West Oakland and have been here 7 years. We host all sorts of classes for adults and youth. We serve about 5,000 adults and 2,500 young people through our programs. We offer incredible youth programs here at the Crucible. We offer field trips where we bring in young folks and offer 3 demonstrations of our fine and industrial arts. We offer classes which occur after school and on weekends, and then we have these incredible summer camps where young people can come for a full day and take all sorts of classes. We run workshops. They could be individual projects as well as group projects. We have an outreach vehicle called The Herb, which is our educational response vehicle, and offers 5 demonstrations, and we take that out into the community to do demonstrations. We have an incredible bike program for our local neighbors, which offers 2 components. One is the bike fix-a-thons, where once a month we roll up our doors and fix local community members' bikes. And then we have an Earn a Bike program where young folks can come into the studio, pick out a bike, fix that bike up, then learn bike mechanics, and earn that bike.
I describe it as a fun place, and you learn how to do stuff that some adults don't know how to do, and it's just like a new experience for some people.
Hiking bike is something that you make something like your own. You take a bike that take parts off of it and you make it like your own custom made bike like no one has before.
The Hiking Bike program came about as an evolution to keeping young people involved in the Crucible, and it was a way in which we could take their love of bicycles and integrate some of the skills we teach here at the Crucible.
Frame alteration class was an idea that we had that grew out of the art bike movement, the hyphy bike movement, the scraper bike movement. It's a way of incorporating the interests of bicycles with developing fabrication skills and hoping to merge the interests of doing bike mechanics with and learning the welding and metal working skills.
Today we are doing our Hyphy Bike program, which is basically taking a pile of junk bikes, used bikes, beat up bikes, rusted out bikes, and we're taking maybe 2 or 3 of them, we're going to cut them up and weld them back together into a working bike. So hopefully everyone's bike will work when we're done. Last time everyone's bike was rideable, even if it only made it around the block once or twice.
There's really not a lot of stuff to do in this neighborhood. You need to just play sports or ride bikes around. That's what you can do to stop the trouble. But I think if more kids show their bikes off and more people want to come to the Crucible and participate in the class and stay off the streets.
We had the opportunity to build bikes and learn different steps like the welding and piecing the bike together and letting your imagination come to life through the bikes.
We're instructing cutting and reforming of existing bike frames, altering bike frames, MIG welding, finishing the joints, sanding, painting, and then doing the mechanic work on the bicycle as well, the brakes and shifters and all that.
A lot of kids are really into the chopper bikes right now, so we end up doing a lot of extended forks and custom handlebars. But it's been a really, really great program. This is our 2nd time around doing this. We did it last year, and it was very successful. I mean, kids that rode out after our class was over, hit the streets. I mean, it was pretty much doors being knocked down by kids coming through here wanting to be a part of this program.
It actually served as one of our greatest community outreach tools ever, because these young folks would be riding these bikes that they created, and they were just so proud of these bikes.
A lot of what we're doing too is we're incorporating design into it too. So this is our CAD program out here. It's pretty high-tech, cardboard assisted design.
And really cool to be able to see these kids come up with some very creative ideas. I mean, a lot of them, some of the stuff, it's a little too ambitious, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, they're really, really creative, and they're coming up with some really, really cool ideas and concepts. So it's been fun, very, very rewarding.
The kids who are involved in the Hiking Bike program have completed either an Earn a Bike program, which is our after-school offering, or a metal fabrication welded sculpture class. So have a basis of a foundation of skills for either bicycles or for metal work. And we're selected to do the class based on good behavior and accomplishment and a basic basis of foundation skills.